Alright, we should be live.
Yeah, we are.
Alright. Third week of January, third week of 2024.
Oh, grabe. Week 3 out of 52.
Yes.
Already down.
Hey, Glendale. What's up, Glendale?
Hey, Glendale, what up?
um, yes, of course. Again, Glendale. That's my motto in life. Diego, what's up? D Prime.
D Prime, what up?
So people are slowly filing in our live stream tonight. Julian, doing just fine. Doing great.
Thank you, Jericho. I hope you can send us a photo of you wearing that now.
Yeah, but back to school na yung karamihan yan. After a long holiday break. Oh, Ina here has a question. Maybe we'll answer that in the predictions.
Yeah, we'll probably answer that in the predictions. Although
The
ayoko sana
predictions.
nag-iisip about about returns.
Yeah. Because
not?
also I think
No,
this.
I mean it's hard to predict returns kasi for me. Like I don't like predicting returns.
Plus this year kasi sobrang stacked ng Rumble na kahit walang returns, it will still be an eventful. That's what I'm banking on this year.
Hey Neil, thank you for saying that. I appreciate now we make your drive more bearable.
Quick question. Actually thought it a few minutes ago. Kung sasali kayo sa Royal Rumble, anong strategy niyo para manalo?
The Roman from 2015 or 2014. Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, 2015, yeah.
Yeah, do the Roman. Pati 2016, di ba? That's what Roman did.
Oh, yeah. He got taken out by the League of Nations. Tapos bumalik siya. Malapit na yung matalo. But he lost. He lost that one.
Yeah, but still a good strategy. He made it to the end. Or to the final 3. Sila ni Triple H and Mox pa rin final 2.
Yeah. How about you, Ro? What's your strategy?
Sorry. I went to the bathroom. What was the question?
Now, if you're gonna be in the Rumble, what's your strategy?
Lalabas ako sa bottom rope. Tapos papasok ako sa dulo. I mean, nobody uses the bottom rope. I don't understand. It is a legitimate strategy. Until they ban it.
I mean, the counter argument to that is if someone, kung may ka-feud ka, they will basically like beat you up and then put you back in the ring.
That isn't until they toss me over the top rope, I'm not eliminated. Diba? So
that's
tama sila. Anong fair fight.
Oh, yeah, that is correct as well. Walang rules against low blows, DQs. I don't understand why people are wrestling it fairly.
Oh.
All right, that's fair.
Hello, Earl.
What up, Earl?
What's up?
Okay, shut up na tayo.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to him.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Adam! now.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening.
And you are listening
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling
Podcast. The Wrestling Podcast.
to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Hey, Stancy, Ro Moran, and Emil Nate checking in on a Thursday. Sabi nga ni Emil nung pre-show, week 3 of 52. And we are about a couple of weeks away from the 2024 Royal Rumble. So we hope na ready na kayo. We hope lahat kayo nanalo na rin sa Lotto. Kasi madali nilang pala manalo sa Lotto these days. And we hope that everybody is in good spirits heading into the third weekend of the year. We have a lot to talk about as usual, and we have to start by putting over our Royal Rumble viewing party at Skinny Mike's that is happening on January 28. That's Sunday morning. Doors open at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. yung start ng main show. Early bird tickets still available at 350 pesos. May kasama na yung free iced tea, and you get a chance to win a Rocky Maya via Funko Pop courtesy of our friends from Everybody's Toys and Collectibles. It's in the next slide, babyface producer Jasper. Walk-in tickets are at 450 pesos, and if you want to win the Funko Pop, okay lang din naman kahit na walk-in ticket holder ka. But just so you know, we've already sold 55 tickets as of tonight. All right, so konti na lang, mapupuno na natin yung Skinny Mike Sports Bar, and a little bit more, you might actually force the place to open yung top floor. So that would be nice. Emil's doing, sorry, yeah.
Wala namang malaking NBA game on that date.
Yeah,
Like,
parang wala naman. Parang wala
All
naman.
right, all right. That's good. Kasi that's our actual competition sa Skinny Mikes.
Wala na rin Miss Universe, diba? Tapos na yun, diba? Last month.
Yes, ang NFL na lang ang ang
Yeah, the NFL. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
might
so-
be the ayun pala. It's the NFL playoffs nga pala. Anyway.
Yun, i-outnumber na lang natin yung mga NFL
Yeah.
fans.
Well, we
Kuyugin natin
are,
yung
I mean,
Skinny Mike.
approve naman kami ni Sir Ruben. So, it's official, you know. So, wow, baka sila yung mapaano sa second floor.
Basta we want to be having a good time on January 28. You can get your tickets at tinyurl.com/rumble2024. Good job, babyface producer Jasper, for putting that sa ticker. Again, it is tinyurl.com/rumble2024. Get your tickets now. Hope to see you there. Marami na nagsasabi na kita-kits tayo. We also got to give a shout out to our friends from Hobby Stadium. They're also one of our venue partners for our regular events. Pero wala kami sa Hobby Stadium for the Royal Rumble, but they've got their own viewing party. It's also happening at around the same time. I believe tickets are at 300 pesos sa Hobby
Yes.
Stadium. So pag mas malapit kayo sa New Manila, sa Erod, yun, doon kayo sa Hobby Stadium. Okay din naman, masaya din naman doon. Pero hindi kami in charge doon. Wala kaming kinalaman sa viewing party sa Hobby Stadium for the Royal Rumble. All
But
right?
they're our friends, yeah.
Yes, they are our friends, and we'll be doing some more events with Hobby Stadium later on this year. All right, Emil, let the people know about our Patreon program.
All right, so you could support the pod through our Patreon program. It's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast right there below. Thank you, Jasper, for the for putting that up. You'll get some benefits, of course, by joining our Patreon. Of course, you get to join in on our Discord server and talk to us and interact with us and talk to your fellow podcasts and discuss about everything and anything under the sun. And also, we host some watch parties in there for your favorite PLEs and pay-per-views. Not happening though for the Royal Rumble because we're gonna have a in-person viewing party, but for the other PLEs and pay-per-views for the rest of the year, so we'll host some watch parties in there, and you'll also get some review content of the weekly wrestling shows courtesy of Rowan and Ro, like Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, the weekend AEW shows, NXT, all that. And if you are a part of our Patreon program, you get some discounts on the service fees sa pasabays na we actually did last month, and we're planning to do the next one.
Dumating na.
Yeah, dumating na. Yes. So if you want to join on the next one and want to get your authentic wrestling merch, you could do that. And again, by subscribing to our Patreon, you're pretty much supporting everything that we do here on the pod. So again, it's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
All right, and it's time for some happy roll noises
Yes!
para matuwa naman si Ali /
Ah!
Adore.
Yeah! All right. Asan na yung graphic, Jasper? Where is it? Where is
Yeah.
it? Show the thing. There it is.
There you go.
All right. This morning and this afternoon, I was watching and catching up on Raw and NXT to prepare for our show tonight. Kasi, you know, it's free. It's fucking free on Blast TV. It's free naman yan kasi naka-converge ako sa bahay. But it's available for a really, really minimal cost for everyone else. Guys, I don't have to, you know, go over to that site for WWE main roster and, you know, figure out which stream, which feed I'm going to watch. And then, you know, I don't have to close the tab in time before the dog comes on at the end. Because I have everything Raw, NXT, and SmackDown on Blast TV, guys. Yo, this is it. This is the solution you have been looking for. This is the solution for your main roster needs. Malay mo, isang araw, balang araw, dagdagan din ng AEW, diba? You never know, right? So if you don't patronize this, if you don't bring in the numbers for Blast TV, they might take it away from us. They might take away free, legit WWE main roster programming. So head on over to blasttv.ph over there. It's right there on the graphic. Subscribe na kayo kung di pa kayo nagsubscribe. Converge kayo, sign up na kayo, libre lang. And, you know, let's all watch WWE live as it happens on in the US and on demand right after. That's it for the happy noises.
Yes, WWE on Blast TV, the real MVP.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk about some actual wrestling, and we're gonna start off with Raw. Seth freaking Rollins main evented against Jinder Mahal. It was the World Heavyweight Championship match heard around the world. But after the match, it was reported na na-injure talaga si Seth Rollins. So hindi pa natin alam yung full extent ng details, ng injury itself, how it happened, anong part ng legs niya affected. Alam lang natin na nung natapos yung match, iika-ika siya pabalik sa locker room based on yung mga tao na nandun sa Little Rock, Arkansas nung Monday Night Raw. So my question to you guys is, if Seth Rollins is injured enough to be taken out of the WrestleMania plans and, God forbid, be stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship, what do we do here?
I don't know. Okay, kasi it feels I said it differently like a couple of weeks ago, but it's starting to feel like Rock versus Roman going to left for Roman. I don't know if that means they're gonna do 2 nights for Roman, you know, have him pull double duty for all the times he's missed, for all the shows he's
Offset.
missed. Offset. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I don't know. Kayo kasi, like, personally, I know Cody's a stickler for this, but if Cody wins the World Heavyweight Championship instead of the WWE Championship, is it still finishing the story? I mean, technically, do you count? If you were Cody, does it count for you? Is the story finished, or is just one arc finished and then the main story that he wants to finish isn't yet? I don't know. So many other people deserve it. Maraming deserving. It's like the Roman Reigns situation where you put up a lot of guys against the champion, and most of them are actually pretty deserving. So, what's I don't know, because I want to know if you would consider this a finishing of the story, if it were you. Because for me, I think it would be, because big championship thing. It's not the main championship I wanted. It's not the storied championship that I was going for, but it is a world championship, and I could count myself a world champion if I win it. So what's your take on this?
Nah, I wouldn't be satisfied if Cody just win the World Heavyweight Championship, kasi early on in the story, Cody, yung talagang ini-aim niya was the WWE Championship, just like they've said in the comments, kasi he specified that he's going after the WWE Championship. When actually, I remember when this was introduced, Cody said that's not his, the World Heavyweight Championship is not his goal. His goal is going after the big one, the WWE Championship, and going after Roman, kasi tinalo nga siya last year. So I think the proper way to finish the story is for Cody to go over Roman. If Cody does something else, it wouldn't really satisfy everyone, and it wouldn't really be the finish to the story that people have always wanted.
How sad would it be if yun nga, no, Cody doesn't get to finish the story kasi okay, he's world heavyweight champion, then like in a year or two he's smashing thrones again.
I don't know, but I agree. I forgot. Somebody mentioned it. Julian mentioned it. Dapat nga si Drew. I did want Drew to win the championship nga pala from Seth all those months ago. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Punk, have Drew win now. Di pa naman up yung kontrata niya. Then Punk can win the Rumble, and then they can do that match. It's not versus Seth, but all right, that's the next question pala that we have pala.
Yeah, diba? Ito rin, let's say Seth is out of the Rumble plans, out of the WrestleMania plans. What do you do with Punk? And I think we just answered it kasi Drew McIntyre, to be fair to him, has also been poking the bear being CM Punk, diba? So even if wala si Seth, Drew is right there and he's been saying all the things that yung mga wala sa kulto ni Punk have been saying.
Yeah. Pero the money is still in Seth Punk kasi Seth
Sure,
had been
yeah.
the guy who poked that bear first kasi siya yung before the idea of Punk coming back to WWE was a twinkle in your father's eye. He was talking shit about him, diba, already. So it's not the same. I mean, I think they can do a good job of writing that story. I said Drew is really good at delivering these things, and I think may konting input na siya on how he wants to portray himself or how his story is being portrayed, whether it's real or not, or how real it is. So I don't mind that. It's just that sayang din yung pera. But I guess it's an injury. You can't really do much about that if that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Wala ka magagawa, di mo kontrol yan eh.
Yeah, same thoughts here. Plus, they actually already planted the seeds talaga for Drew and Punk to go after each other. So parang naging happy coincidence na they had that promo, and they kind of started planting the seeds for a feud there, and then nagkataon na Seth, who's originally slated to be the one to face Punk at Mania, and got injured. So at least parang in a way they had a backup in mind, and baka magamit na nila yung backup nila in Drew, di ba?
All right. Anything else on Seth and Jinder and the title defense or the injury that you guys want to talk about?
No. I'm gonna talk about this. And I'll save my thoughts on the actual match for picks of the week because I am making it my pick of the week.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. All right, let's move on here to Mommy versus the Man, which we got a taste of on Monday Night Raw. And it wasn't something that I personally foresaw heading into 2024, but now that we have it, I am all in. I think this is going to be pretty interesting since it's been a while na underdog si Becky Lynch heading into WrestleMania season. So whether or not Becky actually wins the Rumble, having her face Rhea at WrestleMania 40 seems like a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Emil. Go.
No. This is a match that people have been waiting for ever since Rhea won the Women's World Championship last year, and I think they have done a good job of keeping them separate for a while, even though they are on the same brand, which is Raw. Because they kept Becky busy feuding with other wrestlers, and she even dipped her toes to NXT for most of last year. So
yeah,
now I think we're at a point na it's time. It's time that we have this in time for the biggest show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. I was just writing about this kanina on my review, and it's one of those things that I really admire Becky for being one of the few people that isn't afraid to talk about herself in an existential way. Diba? Like I want a lot of these wrestlers to talk about themselves, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their lives, their careers, their standing as pro wrestlers. Diba? Like I want The Rock to talk about that stuff. I want LA Knight to talk about that stuff, especially after how many interviews LA Knight has given talking about his career story, diba? His life story. And si Becky lang yung isa sa mga konting gumagawa nun eh. She says that she needs to prove to herself that she is an elite wrestler. by beating Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley is the one she has to beat to prove that. And I really enjoy stories like this. I don't know if a lot of people feel the same way, but this is how you establish the legend of your stardom, diba? Of your character, diba? And I'm already sold. I'm already sold on this story. This I also it is the first thing involving Rhea Ripley that I've been interested in since the build up to WrestleMania last year, diba? So for the most part, she'd been coasting along and messing with the men that the Judgment Day are feuding with. Pero ngayon, somebody is actually finally, giving her a serious story and making her the final boss in their personal journey of redemption or development or whatever you want to call it. So I like this a lot. I like this so much, and I hope it stretches all the way to WrestleMania. I think she's doing this to call her shot sa Rumble, diba?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she was saying that she's calling her shot. Now she'll win the Rumble, then go on
Yeah,
to
yeah,
face
yeah,
Rhea.
yeah. Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. So that makes her another favorite, but I don't think she needs the Rumble win to end up challenging Rhea anyway. So pwede naman yan.
Yeah, ang ganda. Ang ganda ng story kasi yung nga, Rhea has to be re-established as the final boss of the division. And it's great that you have someone like Becky who actually looks tiny next to Rhea Ripley. I didn't realize na ang liit pala niya compared to Rhea. And when Becky had that doubt in her eye and sinabi niya, I need to know if I am still on that level or something to that effect, diba? Or na parang kaya ba kitang talunin. It's so good because Becky has gone through so much na maybe it did take this long for her to go back into underdog mode. Kasi after she's been the unbeatable champion, the heel, diba, the man, big time Bex, parang nakakalimutan natin na there was a time when she was the most beloved underdog in the entire WWE, maybe even the entire world of wrestling. So it's great that she kind of gets a bit of a reset here as a character, especially na pinagtambal sila ni Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Have we seen this before? I don't think we've ever seen it.
Parang
before.
hindi
Have
pa.
we?
No.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
of the
fresh.
four
Yeah.
horsewomen,
Yeah.
Rhea's only faced Charlotte. And I
Yeah,
kind of want to see
oo.
her go through all four horsewomen. I mean,
But-
obviously, Mercedes is not happening, pero, it would be nice for her to, go through all four horsewomen.
Yeah. It also is because Charlotte is the only one who's always champion anyway. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, yun yung nangyari.
Sabi ni Lance, plot twist, Becky versus Rhea versus R-Truth at Mania. Tapos magli-live, laugh, love sila. Sige.
Push mo yan. Sige.
All right. Let's move on to another bit on Raw that really caught our attention here, and that's the feud between Imperium and the New Day. So, I don't know if this was meant to be a one-off as well, but after Giovanni Vinci got injured in that match against Kofi Kingston, and then Ludwig Kaiser took it out on Kofi, now Xavier Woods has come back, and he wants his pound of flesh. It's actually pretty good na, naglalaban sila. Pero, there's still a man down because Big E still hasn't made his return. So, where do you think this one is going to go?
It's Jay. Jay is their third man because he's been the one interacting with the New Day along with another. But Jay was in the match when Kofi inadvertently injured Vinci, diba? So siya yung partner niya doon.
Yeah.
So by extension or by association, he got dragged into this. So this is so fun. Like I didn't realize I needed it until they activated yung angry Kaiser, and then even Xavier Woods is angry. Then they're now chopping the fuck out of each other, and everyone's hurting each other. And may drive-by na nangyayari, and it's so much fun. I really want. I mean, if Big E could come back, I want the end game to be Big E versus Gunther, or Kofi versus Gunther one more time for the Intercontinental Championship. But obviously they're building it up for Jay, and I don't actually mind it being main event Jay's first singles championship, diba? I think that was what's missing. That was what was missing from him after he split with Jimmy, diba? So that's actually not a bad idea. It could be fun, and it's a nice little side quest for I guess Gunther, if the rumors of him being given Brock at WrestleMania are in any way true.
do you realize that you just booked like 2 or 3 WrestleMania matches in one go? Kasi, diba, you take the championship off of Gunther, so now it's Jay, and he gets Jimmy at WrestleMania. Then you get Gunther versus Lesnar at WrestleMania as well. Parang ano kayo, you hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's how good we've been having it lately, I think.
Yeah.
Diba?
Exactly. Yeah. And pero you know what? In a perfect world, this would lead to Biggie versus Gunter for the IC title. But fortunately, we are not living in a perfect world. But nonetheless, I love how physical this feud is. And ayun na nga, Stan, like you said, I don't know if that was the original intention or if they just rolled with it after the injury to Vinci. Nonetheless, either way, this is something we don't often see in WWE programming. And the fact that it involves the New Day, one of the most wholesome acts in the company, makes it even better kasi lumalabas yung vicious side ng New Day. And we saw that on Raw with that very vicious match that Woods and Kaiser had. So, I thought this was just...
Yung visual ni Woods na duguan yung bibig niya, tapos yung
exactly.
steps, diba?
Yeah,
Babato niya kay Kaiser.
God. Yeah, that was so good. I thought this was gonna be a one-off, but I'm invested in it now, and I'm looking forward to see kung sino ba talaga yung rest back, although it would likely be Jey Uso. But still, I'm looking forward to Jey Uso going up against Gunther for the IC titles.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ludwig Kaiser for having the really nice LK logo na parang Calvin Klein ripoff, and then it has European excellence in the middle. I actually dig that. And for him and Gunther having that moment where Gunther hugged him, diba? It was a nice way to wrap yung story nila na parang patalo si Kaiser, and then now he's gotten back into the ring general's good graces.
I mean, hopefully, Carlo's right. Like I like Vicious Imperium. Like I did not like yung tease of in-group tension. Nobody asked for that. Everybody wants Imperium to stay together. Parang ang masyadong soon to tease the breakup of Imperium.
Plus, one of the problems I had with Imperium last year was kasi before in NXT, they were treated as equals, like all the members of Imperium. But when they stepped into the main roster, for a while it looks like naging goons lang si Kaiser and Vinci. But now, I think we're at the point na lalabas na ulit yung vicious tag team when Vinci comes back, and with these two running roughshod through the entire roster. So I'm looking forward to a new Imperium this year.
So I just looked back at the history of Imperium in WWE, and they've actually been around as a stable for almost 5 years. That's longer than Evolution's run and the Brood's run combined.
But 3 of those years were in NXT UK though.
Sure, but it's still WWE canon.
Yeah, pero kaya I mean in the main roster, they've only been together for
almost
coming into 2 years too, diba? So there is still a lot of ground to be covered with Imperium as a unit. Tsaka yun nga, sabi ni Emil na when they went to the main roster under Vince, nagmukhang goons yung dalawa, diba? But they're not, diba? We wouldn't be having this problem if the tag team championships were split,
Yeah, it would be nice to see Kaiser and Vinci hold up the tag team championships alongside Intercontinental Champion Gunther. So, all right. Let's cross over to SmackDown here. And what did you guys think of yung tease? Kasi diba, si Nick Aldis, he booked a 6-man match between Roman's 3 contenders against the Bloodline, pero wala si Roman. So all throughout the episode, I was actually thinking, is Roman gonna come out, or are they gonna get a temporary ally for the night? Because pretty sure na wala namang bagong member ng Bloodline who would randomly appear on a random January episode of SmackDown. So did the tease work for you guys?
I can't answer that because I watched SmackDown after it happened, so I know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pero ako, I'm actually glad to see the progression of what happened on SmackDown kasi talagang walang kakampi yung Bloodline sa locker room. Talagang it's either people who the Bloodline doesn't want to be associated with them, or people who talagang despises the Bloodline. Even the heels, some of them despises the Bloodline, and I love it kasi nagkakaroon na ng consequences yung mga actions ni Roman back then na when the bloodline is outnumbered, no one's there to help you, and it's awesome. I am all in for the downfall of the bloodline, and this looks like a first step towards that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think seryoso naman nila. But yes, I can't comment on this because I knew what happened when I was watching SmackDown. But it was interesting that they didn't try to plug that hole. Like, okay, well, that's a Roman, so we are making this his regular absence a part of the story, diba? And it worked. I like it when they don't try to play with your intelligence like that. Di ka nila ginagago. Sabi ni Nick Aldis, wala kayong ano eh. Di wala kayong partner, diba? So,
Oh, di 3-on-2 kayo, malas nyo, wala kayong friends eh.
Problema
And
yun na yan.
that brings me to my appreciation for the Nick Aldis character, which just grows and grows by the week. And we've talked about how Nick Aldis has been a very fascinating presence, especially kung pinagtapat siya kay Roman Reigns, diba? And this is something that our friend and patron Lance pointed out on Discord. Na Nick Aldis this week did something very subtle during that promo with sina Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman tried to grab the mic from Nick Aldis, and then si Nick Aldis held onto the mic with a tight grip. So hindi siya maagaw from him ni Paul Heyman, which, if you're paying attention, is a good reminder na Nick Aldis is built. He's physically strong. And if push came to shove, this guy might actually throw down, diba? So it's a good way to really assert yung pagka-authoritative ni Nick Aldis na the dude has balls and you cannot mess around with this man's show and this man's job. So hardest working general manager in pro wrestling today. I really appreciate how every week he does what he can to keep the bloodline in check. And I think ito talaga yung nagkulang dun sa first few years of the Bloodlines run where, they got to do whatever they wanted.
you mean when Vince was running the show? Well, and some Triple H did it. But to that point, I say again, I'm going to reinforce my comments from the previous week. Now, if I am Adam Pearce, I will ask my boss for a monumental, significant raise. Because apparently, you can write competent and authoritative general managers. And they did not do that for me. So, pwede pala yun eh, diba? So, okay, I made myself look like a fool for you, like the Cranberries. And now I demand just compensation for being the laughingstock and the scapegoat, no Jack Perry, of all the Bloodline shenanigans for the past 3 years.
To be fair, Adam Pearce did have that 2-week stretch diba, where he was being put in the ring against Roman Reigns.
All right.
That was like 2 weeks.
That was 2 weeks na umasa tayo na, wow, former NWA champion Adam Pearce is gonna wrestle in WWE.
No, it's actually pretty annoying that it took you a new hire to establish the fact that you can have a general manager na may bass in his voice. So,
hindi lang yung bass in the voice. It's really, being a babyface na hindi pushover. Kasi Teddy Long was a babyface, but I would argue that he was actually a pushover as a GM.
He was a senior citizen. He was a senior citizen, though.
No, before he was a senior citizen, it was easy to run over Teddy Long.
You say he was a manager, though. You can't run over Nick Aldis because that man is a former world's heavyweight champion.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, so is Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce, yeah. So is Adam Pearce.
And the thing with Teddy Long, like what made him somewhat untouchable was, meron siyang Undertaker as resback.
Yeah.
Diba? Oh, you go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. Nick Aldis does not need the Undertaker.
Adam Pearce did not have the Undertaker. Did not have prime Undertaker.
Renz, we get it. You love Imperium. We get it, man.
Yeah.
Anything else on this segment on SmackDown?
No, yun lang naman. Let's just remember that we should also give the creative team their flowers for making Nick Aldis look really strong.
Yeah, for sure. For people who don't get it, diba? Meron ding writers even for the supposed NPCs. Even yung mga backstage interviewers, may writers din yan. Okay? So, just because people from outside the system rant about the writers, it doesn't mean they're all bad. May naiaambag din naman sila. Right? So, yun lang. Just for people who are easy to persuade na, oh, writers, bad. Creative team, only wrestlers.
Hollywood
Yeah, diba?
writers, bad, yeah.
Oh. May ambag din sila, guys.
Yeah.
For one, marunong sila umarte.
Tsaka, if for those who are still bagging on yung Hollywood types na nasa WWE, please, I implore you to listen to the first season of Freddie Prinze Jr.'s podcast.
Yeah.
It is a really good look. And he doesn't quite get it all the time because he's a wrestling fan first and foremost, but he brings in a lot of important insight as a screenwriter to the WWE's creative process.
Yeah. So, yun. Marami kayong mapupulot from that podcast, Wrestling with Freddie. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll give Grayson Waller his flowers for protecting the biz. We'll also talk about NXT and a bit of AEW. But first, let's hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Uy, merong na late. Si Ali /Adore /Adore.
What up, Ali?
What's up, Ali? Thanks for joining us. Whatever time you check in, kahit na nakikinig kayo the following morning when we drop these episodes on Spotify, we really, really appreciate you guys supporting the pod and following us. If you haven't yet, please follow us, by the way. We're on Spotify. It's the Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, there's
Right.
a question here. It actually involves our friend Ali here. Pero I guess we'll have to address it somehow kasi we will get these questions, but Stan and I are not allowed to comment on that issue. As in, there is a legit directive, and we will honor that directive. Emil, it's up to you if you want to comment on that, but Stan and I can't touch it.
No, I'll just say that I think Ali got the justice that she wanted, and yung I always say na dapat managot yung dapat managot, and I feel like that person got what he deserves, and yun lang yung sasabihin ko. I think everyone close to her, everyone who was friends with her, and everyone in the community were we're satisfied, we're happy with kung ano yung naging decision or what happened. So that's all it is. So yun na yung sasabihin.
Yep.
She got what it deserved.
I've got nothing good
Justice
to
has
say
been served.
other than I just want wrestling to be safe for everyone.
Yes.
That's it.
That's true.
Safe
That's all I
space for
want.
everyone.
Wrestling to be safe for wrestlers, fans, crew members, everyone. So,
Yun lang yung pwede namin
keep it
sabihin
that
din.
way.
That's as much as we can say. Oh, yeah. Stan, you here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's
okay.
talk about Grayson Waller. Give the man his flowers because the man. I'm here. Nana ba? Okay, yan. Let's talk about Grayson Waller here because this dude went to great lengths to protect the business when he appeared on the show Sunrise in Australia. So it's their version of the Today Show or whatever morning show you watch, like Unang Hirit or back in the day, diba? Umagang Kay Ganda. So it was LA Knight who's in the background. He's actually being covered by Grayson Waller here. And then if you haven't seen the clip, itong dalawang co-hosts, the female and then the dude in the suit, medyo ginagago nila si Grayson Waller. And even LA Knight to an extent, na parang, totoo ba yan? Baka pwede mo kamang gawa ng moves, mag-sample ka nga or whatever. And then tong dude in the suit, nangangansaw pa, sabi niya, tong FD namin. FD means floor director, the guy in the shorts. Tong
He's
FD
huge,
namin, last day niya na ngayon. Sabi niya, last day na ng FD namin, siya yung tirahin mo ng moves. So si Grayson Waller was like, hindi ako magfe-fake punch, kala mo fake to? Sasapakin talaga kita, mananockout ka, So, nakipagbangayan siya talaga. Di tumiklop tong dalawang hosts. So, Glendale is saying na, this is David Schultz all over again. And if you don't know the story behind that one, si Danger David Schultz is a wrestler from the 80s na medyo ginago ng isang TV host in an interview. And then nabuisit si David Schultz, sinapak niya, na-knockout talaga for real. And naging scandal siya, nagkademandahan sila and all of that. Grayson Waller will not do that. As much of a heel as he is on TV, Grayson Waller will not do that. Kasi unang-una, professional yan. Pangalawa, teacher yan dati, guys. Pakinggan yung interview namin with him from 3 years ago before he signed with NXT. The dude had a life before wrestling. He was a school teacher. So may modo siyang tao kahit papano, okay? He was just doing what he could to protect the business. And I personally appreciate what he did.
To Ali's question, actually, the main question I was thinking about is it real or not?
Yun na nga
Was it a work segment that they come together and script that segment to get heat on Grayson? And I do not know the answer to that. I don't know. It's a good work. If it's a work, it's a good work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Si Mate, yung floor director na he's huge. He's fucking huge. It's no joke. That dude was not hindi siya patpatin. Hindi siya sino-sinong patpatin. But Grayson would have handled it a lot better than me. Like I wouldn't have slapped the guy as well, but I would have played it off as a joke. He went up and he got in his feelings, rightfully so. He properly got offended at the implication na hindi totoo yung ginagawa, which is syempre, we all know it's a work. But Kyle's asking if I'm Grayson Waller. I wouldn't do the same thing. I've talked so much, I've shared so much dirt about the business that I wouldn't have done it, and a lot of vets would have gotten mad at me for talking candidly about the worked nature of professional wrestling.
Feeling ko rin, if Ro did what Grayson Waller did, makakabalik agad din sa akin. Someone in the business, in media, would have probably gone to me and be like, "Yo, what is your boy doing out here?"
No, I mean, si LA Knight, biglang kabig Get Grayson Waller to do it. I don't know if what he did was right, but maybe he got pissed off. Then maybe nagalit din si Grayson Waller. No? Ba't ako naman yung natoka dito? Diba?
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Again, I don't know if the whole thing was scripted. Kasi when I watched it, I thought it was a skit, diba? Kasi
diba?
Uso naman yun sa mga morning shows.
Oh.
Like I've seen that sa mga local morning shows, so they would have skits whenever there would be guests, diba? So, but if that was real, then I will say Grayson Waller did an excellent job protecting the business without actually hurting someone on live TV. And
sorry, no, continue, finish.
No, because I think some people still thinks that wrestling is fake and the moves.
Some people, some.
Or I think most. Okay, I'll say it's okay. I'll say most people think wrestling is still fake, and the moves don't hurt until they pass out or get knocked out by a wrestling move. So yun lang naman. So plus kung if the host, if they want wrestlers to demonstrate wrestling, I actually seen one interview, parang local na it was kind of a proper
si Super P at si
way
Andre
of asking.
Felix.
No, it was with Julius Babaw and yung asawa niya when si Crystal and
asawa niya puta.
Si Bersola there.
How dare you
si
disrespect
JDL.
Christine Bersola? Jesus.
A legend
sorry,
in Philippine journalism.
I forgot her name, pero kilala ko siya.
Fucking sexist.
I'm sorry. When Crystal and JDL, like, they demonstrated a bit of what they do. Yun yung para sa akin, if you're gonna ask them to demonstrate, like dapat sila, hindi yung sa normal na tao kasi hindi nila mano yun, hindi nila magagrasp yun. So yun lang naman.
Yeah,
Kung si Super P, sinubmission niya si Andre Felix, matatawa ako. But she'll never do that because Super P is a professional.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
tsaka to give more evidence or to argue more about these things being worked. I remember, this is a story for my podcast that I forgot. Some of the boys appeared on TV with Baron Geisler nung kasikatan ni Baron Geisler in that with that MMA fight challenge with
Yung kay Kiko Matos.
Kiko Matos, yeah. So some TV5, alam ko, capitalized on that hype. They got the boys and Yusuf to come on the show and teach Baron Geisler some moves. So, those things are scripted by the television show, diba? So, to me kasi, if it were not scripted, it would have been much worse. I feel like si FD would have, legit tried to fight them for real. Because he's huge. The guy is bigger
Tsaka
than
last
Grayson
day
Waller.
yun eh.
Yeah, tsaka last day niya. What were they gonna do? Fire him? So I feel like it was a really well worked work. So it was too good to be.
I just want to end this by saying I love Grayson Waller, one of my favorite performers, and I appreciate that man every time we see him on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great dude. Please go listen to our interview with him if you haven't yet.
All right, let's go to NXT and talk about Trick Williams. Kasi this week, Ilya Dragunov finally gave him his championship match. It will happen on Vengeance Day. Then kita mo dito sa reaction ni Melo, parang, teka lang, may plano tayo Magpa-finals tayo ng Dusty Classic. Tapos dapat mananalo tayo dun, di ba? So now Trick is essentially doing double duty at Vengeance Day kasi he has a tag with Melo if they make it to the Dusty Finals. And then he has his championship match against Ilya Dragunov. So I think this is a very interesting dynamic that they've added to the Vengeance Day build-up.
Yeah. Okay, sure na ako na dito mangyayari yung breakup nila ni Melo. Kasi you have 2 matches and then now Melo has a kind of a justifiable reason to snap on you. Diba? Kasi for sure, you're losing the Dusty Finals, the Dusty Classic Finals. So, for whatever reason, your mind was on the championship match, diba? So that's gonna be his impetus to screw Trick over for his championship shot. So ito na yun. I think this is the final. Melo gets to finish his story before Cody does.
Yeah, same thing. This development makes me think na the turn will happen at Vengeance Day. Like the Dusty finals will go on first. And then they will lose to the ano yung tawag sa team nila, the Corbin and
Wolf Dogs.
The Wolf Dogs there. The Wild Boars.
The Wild Boars.
So they will lose to
Pinag-isipan ni
them.
Bron yung sa shower wag niyo anin yun.
They will lose to them in the opening, and then the third will happen in the main event. So parang ano lang. Again, this is like Gargano Ciampa all over again. So.
Yeah. Sige, Ro, go ahead.
No. I was that's what I said. What I said. This is gonna be the turn for them. Well acted. Interesting device that they use to book 2 matches for them at the same. Well, technically it's 1 match because you're not supposed to know if they make it all the way to the finals.
Yeah,
yet.
okay.
So you're only
Pero parang ganun na rin, na-telegraph na rin siya eh.
Yeah. No, kasi I mean, if I'm Melo, tama naman yung pag-worry ko. Kasi, I mean, I'm not planning to lose, right? So, I'm assuming we're making it all the way to the finals. And now, I know that my boy has potentially 2 matches and he's not going to be devoting his entire brain power to our match. To the match I'm in.
Considering na medyo airhead pa yung character ni Trick, diba? Napaka-naive, diba? So may pagka-airhead. Parang, ito na nga lang brain power mo, divided pa yung focus mo, diba? Kung ikaw si Melo, di ka ba mabubuisit, diba? Speaking of Melo, he's double dipping now between NXT and SmackDown. There was a vignette of him on SmackDown last week where he was sitting in Nick Aldis's office. And, unfortunate injury to Melo and Austin Theory aside, what do you think about him having his own little side quest as a rookie on SmackDown where medyo conveniently nai-ignore na he's got heelish tendencies na ulit on NXT?
Yeah, I'm weird. I don't like this. Only because they've established na isa yung threads that run between the main roster and NXT. So all of a sudden we're being asked to ignore the fact na okay, we're being asked to think about this na okay, iba ka pala dito sa SmackDown compared to NXT until you turn heel. Then I guess you turn heel on SmackDown as well. But yun nga, you're right na parang wala ka ibang kwento nangyayari. Parang wala ka ibang friends na naapakan sa NXT right now, diba? So it's unusual, it's uncharacteristic talaga because they've done a good job so far. Like kunyari, a couple of weeks ago, diba, Kevin Owens came by to cost Grayson Waller the match versus Trick Williams, diba? So that is how I know that they're paying attention to both and they're asking us to pay attention to both. So now this is weird na all of a sudden compartmentalize si Melo.
Teka, Emila, bago ka sumagot.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate. What if si Melo, yung parang siyang in real life na pag nasa bagong workplace ka, medyo ano ka pa, di ka pa makabasag pinggan, medyo demure ka pa, pero pag kasama mo yung tropa mo, sige, whatever, no holds barred.
Yeah, I can see that type of mentality. You know? It's the environment that makes Melo act a certain way. Pero to be fair kasi, hindi pa naman nag-turn heel si Melo on NXT eh. Like, I can still see him as a babyface. You know, pag nag-turn heel na siya, tas babyface pa din siya sa SmackDown, yun na yung problema.
No, I mean, ang problem ko is like, no one is coming up to him backstage or at least making a reference. Like Waller isn't coming up to him backstage and saying that on SmackDown backstage and saying that, oh, where's your boy Trick? Or did you finally or whatever? Did you finally ditch him or did you finally do something with him? Because you were the one who attacked him secretly that we all know about. It's you. wala man lang hint na everyone on SmackDown is aware of what he and his best friend are going through.
Oh, so parang lumalabas, di sila nanonood ng NXT.
Oh.
Okay.
Busy daw sila eh. All right, we're going to wrap things up here with some AEW talk. And a segment that stood out is the interview between Renee Paquette and the Young Bucks, who now are going by Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, the EVPs of AEW. So, kaya sila nakaganyan, kaya nakamustache na lang sila. Sabi nila, something changed over the last few years sa AEW. So, nire-reference nila yung mga toxic, self-serving, cancerous superstars of the past. And then for them, it starts with Sting, and that's why they want to end Sting's career at Revolution. Gusto nila sila yung final opponent ni Sting. So, later on in the show, there was actually a vignette from Sting and Darby Allin where they said na they wanted to end Sting's career na hawak nila yung AEW World Tag Team Championship. So now, it looks to me na parang baka three-way to with Ricky Starks and Big Bill getting involved. So, medyo makalat now that new dynamic is being introduced because this in itself, yung bagong attitude ng Young Bucks, is worth talking about in and of itself.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's just a red herring to parang build up the intrigue for whatever or whoever ang magiging final opponent ni Sting, right? But I think it's gonna be these guys. It's interesting. I love it. One thing that the fans don't give the Young Bucks or Nicholas and Matthew credit for is that they are the very best in pushing people's buttons. Diba? It's parang, if you hate the Young Bucks, it's because they want you to hate them. Kasi it's how they make their money, really. It's how they've made their money. They've made their money being annoying little shits. And Carlo, exactly. Kasi they have, they have wanted you to hate them. Yeah, they're trolls.
Yeah, exactly.
They've wanted you to hate them for so long. And now they took a page from Chris Jericho's book. I don't know if Chris Jericho is the right person to be getting inspiration from right now, but they did. They did take some of the 08 Jericho playbook. They stripped everything that people loved about them, yung out of this world personas, even the sneakers. They're in there wearing leather shoes now. Yeah. So really interesting. I know I personally don't like it when personal drama is involved, but syempre it's what fans like to see. I also like to see it myself sometimes when it's done this way. Maganda yung pagka-reference to them, pagka-work into the story nung backstage happenings that have happened over the past 2 years with CM Punk in the company. I think it was a pretty medyo seamless way of integrating it into their current chapter, diba? So that's pretty cool. It's not may finesse yung pagkagawa nila. So I like that. I like what they did with that. I don't know if they can sustain it. It's only, the whole backstage drama fueled storyline is only going to get you so far. And then I think But so far it's fresh because it touches on what people wanted them to touch on ever since Rollout in 2022. So there's some things to look forward to. It doesn't touch on CM Punk in doing so. Syempre, they have channeled it into their feuds with other similar or, medyo similar superstars or medyo similar wrestlers. So that's cool. I like how they're handling it right now.
Yeah, same thoughts here. We have seen the Young Bucks for years now, like more than 10 years. And I like it when wrestlers who have this established persona, established gimmicks. I like it when they reinvent. And this is a reinvention that I welcome. Like Rose said, it's definitely reminiscent of 08 Jericho, where they again stripped everything that people associate them by and had this new look, new attitude. Nakasuit nga din eh. So medyo talagang parehas eh. So I welcome this development and definitely looking forward to seeing them wrestle once they come back and wrestle again.
Glendale, BTE is done. Diba? They
Yeah,
ended
right.
BTE already.
Be the Dark Order now.
Oh. One thing I like about this character change is that finally inacknowledge nila in kayfabe or in canon na EVP sila. Because it was always one of those wink, wink, nudge, nudge things that everybody knew na EVP sila. Pero in kayfabe, in canon, diba? They had to go through the power rankings. They had to go through #1 contenders matches and become tag team champions and all of that stuff. So finally, na-acknowledge nila na EVP sila. So I think that was a nice touch in this reinvention of the Young Bucks or Nicholas and Matthew Jackson.
Si Cody kasi in-acknowledge nyo sa WWE. So sila na rin, di ba?
Oh, why not? Diba? Kulang na lang na magpakita rin si Kenneth Omega.
The Tyson Smith.
Oh. So we still have a bit of time here. Do you guys want to talk about that main event from Dynamite? Did it live up to the billing? Yung match ni Joe and whoever the guy is?
Yes, definitely. It lived up
Sino
to
ba yun?
the
Sino ba yung
hype.
kalaban niya?
Si Hook. Definitely live up to the hype. I love the match. Heading in, there were high expectations kasi inaabangan din ng tao because of TK's Twitter rant a week ago. So people were really looking forward to this, and it was only 9 minutes, but both of these guys cooked. And I actually mentioned this on a tweet earlier. Na it's a modern day take on Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy from 2002, where you got this main eventer, the world champion, going up against someone up and coming. And it's very similar na underdog si Hook dito. And there were so many times where defeated talagang usually if Joe does a move, it's over. But Hook keeps kicking out of Joe's moves. He even kicked out at one off of a muscle buster. So that's how impressive Hook was in this match. And again, I will also say this is my pick of the week as well. So we will discuss this more in the next pick of the week episode.
Maganda yung incorporate na Swerve and Hangman towards the end.
Yeah.
Like after Hook got beat. So I appreciated that. Great way then to transition into Joe's next real story, which is these guys who are hovering around the World Championship scene. So good stuff from Dynamite, especially after the big brouhaha on social media. Ito, Emil, since you've seen it, was the juice worth the squeeze?
What?
Was it worth it, yung panggugulo ni TK on Twitter?
I mean, you could say in a way yes, kasi both of the main event of the title matches on main events on Raw and Dynamite got boosted a little bit because of that Twitter brouhaha. Like people wouldn't meme Jinder Mahal to death if it wasn't for TK in that tweet, diba? And also same thing, this match wouldn't be hyped up if TK, kung di nangyaalam si TK and had that Twitter rant. So I think both of the world title matches got a boost from the Twitter brouhaha from last week. So
I think that this is just me basing it off the industry reactions about. But I think it's worth the squeeze for everyone except TK. Kasi the whole thing, his whole his whole tirade against WWE, not against Jinder, but against WWE writing, was backfired on him. Backfires on him. Because people, I don't know if people really loved the Jinder match the way I did, but it was well done. It was, I see good things being said about it, diba?
Veer came.
Yeah, Veer came.
Oh, nga, no.
Alam mo yun?
Sangha too.
And they had themselves a nice main event. It might have even worked out for TK if if WWE's plans got derailed because of Seth's injury, diba? So at least there's that. I think it's petty, yes, definitely very petty, but it worked. But I hope that that's not how he conducts business moving forward. Because again, doesn't make it good, doesn't make it acceptable.
So, moral of the story here, di porket bilyonaryo ka, pwede ka na mag-tweet.
Yep.
Baka mamaya, lumabas si Bryan Danielson, confiscate niya yung phone mo. Lalagay ka sa noisy boys. All right, time for us to wrap it up here. Let's get some plugs. Emil, anything going on in your world?
Wala naman. Just follow me on all my socials. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. So, there. Just follow me. EML_Meister. You know.
All right, Ro?
Yeah, same. Nothing big happening just yet. Syempre, DexCon WrestleStorm is happening on March 24, 23 for the meet and greet. You can go buy those. Tickets have been flying, for one reason or another. So if you want to catch the Calamari Drunken Kings, confirm na si Chris Brooks ay pupunta despite his surgery kasi he's getting better now. And he's,
Guys, pasalamat tayo kay Miss Vergara, yung VP for for promotions.
Kay Madam Shane for bringing us the gift of the Calamari Drunken Kings. Yeah. Two sets of kings are coming to that show. But yun, shit, what's the site? I forgot the site. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Matchmaker Linus. I don't know what the site is. But go to DexCon, head to DexCon on Facebook. All the details are there. The ticket page is there. And may different packages na pwede mong bilhin. You can get the gold VIP package that has you'll get your name on the wall there on the show. Tapos you'll get exclusive hospitality, pre-show hospitality, the VIP lanes venue, and all that other good stuff. Pati yung pass sa meet and greet on the 23rd. That's the day before. So go check that out while meron pa. All right. So yeah.
All right. For me, if any of you are going to be at the PBA playoff games tomorrow, it's my first playoffs. So I'm going to be doing hype man duties at Phil Sports Arena, formerly known as Ultra. So that's tomorrow. And on Sunday, sana matuloy na. But we're working on something new for the PBA on TV in time for the playoffs. So if that pushes through, I will post about it on social media. So you can go check that stuff out as well. It's at _StanC on all of my socials. For the podcast, it is at Wrestling2XPod on Twitter and on TikTok, and then at Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and on Instagram. On Spotify, if you haven't yet, please give us a follow. It really means a lot to us. Marami siyang nagagawa rin for our algorithm. Carlo Elijah, I'm doing both games. So, tuhog tayo on, for every hype man day I've got. Tuhog tayo.
Oh, by the way,
thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna thank Babyface producer Jasper and the rest of the other Babyface producers over at the Pod Network for all of the work that they do behind the scenes.
Yeah, no. Sorry. I forgot to talk about it. But guys, if you want a new Pasabay batch, I know there have been a lot of good merch. WWE has been on fire with the Judgment Day. Bigyan din ng pera si R-Truth para mabigyan ng pera yung mga kasama niya sa Judgment Day, diba? And Roots of Fight
para may
also
cut si Tom at si Nick.
Roots of Fight also unveiled a brand new CM Punk collection of all the people, of all the wrestlers assigned to Roots of Fight. Had to be CM Punk, and the merch had to be beautiful. If you want those, we are also buying those. I got myself a Rey Mysterio shirt from Roots of Fight last year. Stan and I have been thinking about the next Roots of Fight purchase as well. So kung may gusto kayo from Roots of Fight or WWE shop, please do give us a message and let us know. Baka we might we could put together something before WrestleMania.
Stan, you're on mute.
You're on mute. Last TV plug.
Sorry, that brings us to the end. Hindi na, okay na. Nag-happy road noises na si Ro eh. Okay na.
Rewind nyo na lang.
Kumota na. Oh, hintayin yung matapos tong stream, tapos rewind nyo na lang. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Follow us at Rowan's Bar, at EML_Meister, at Monday Night Rowan, at Chino Supersize, and at _Stan C. On behalf of Emil Nate and Ro Moran, my name is Stan C. Ending another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast. Out. Later, weirdos.
Peace.